Second key difference, you've got all the ports exposed rather than having them under flaps, aside from obviously the micro SD card slot and the micro nano SIM card slot even. Otherwise, it's a virtually identical device design-wise. There are a few key enhancements, the stereo speakers are more elegant, but ultimately you have two phones that are all metal with glass fronts and backs that look very, very good. I'm going to talk you around the design of the Xperia Z3 Plus, and you can see 5.2 inches of full HD display, a front-facing 5 megapixel camera. Right hand side you've got a volume rocker and power button. You've also got a two-stage camera button, which is great. Down at the base is an exposed micro USB connector, still waterproof. You've got a lanyard connector and a flap underneath which sits that micro SD and nano SIM card slot. 3.5mm jack, and on the back is a 20.7 megapixel camera, likely the exact same sensor that we have seen before in the Sony Xperia Z3. How will it stack up? Well, we haven't got this in for review yet. This is a prototype Sony kindly gave us some time with ahead of its launch. So now we can talk about the S6 Edge. Now I've done a full review on this. If you haven't seen it, then check it out. You may well enjoy it, and it does go to explain why I think so highly of it. It's got a 5.2 inch display. Rather than a 5.2 inch full HD display like the Z3 Plus, it's a quad HD display, so the pixel density is astronomical, over 557 to be precise. You've also got a fingerprint scanner at the base, and you know what? It works. So if I put my thumb over, it'll unlock the phone, and fingerprint scanners on Android never tended to do that first time round. Two capacitive buttons either side, front facing camera. Right hand side you've got that power button. Down at the base is the loudspeaker, a micro USB connector and a 3.5mm headphone jack. Now the loudspeaker is one of the real bugbears, and the front facing stereo speakers will instantly be better because it's downward facing, but it is very loud on the S6 Edge. You can also see the micro USB port is exposed, but this is not waterproof. Left hand side you've got volume buttons. Up at the top you have an infrared blaster, as this doubles up as a TV remote control. On the back, camera surrounder. It juts out ever so slightly. This isn't ideal, obviously we would have preferred that it wasn't there, but it doesn't kill the whole phone for me, by no means. You've also got a fingerprint, a heart rate monitor, sorry, and a flash as well. Available in a range of colors. My favorite is the black version, as it looks the most demure personally. The Xperia Z3 Plus is also going to be available in this aqua blue. As you can see, it's very, very subtle, looks almost like a metallic silver white. Two phones look really, really good. Still prefer the S6 Edge just because of the fact that that edge gives it a real unique quality. Android is all about the edge-to-edge swiping, and it just makes it a very nice, seamless experience. The screen is also sharper. It might not be quite as bright. Let's whack both up to full brightness and we'll see how much they throw our camera off. And yeah, the Xperia Z3 Plus might be ever so slightly brighter. Can't really tell gauging by what's going on the viewfinder. Head on, they both look beautiful, it has to be said. The triluminous LCD IPS panel on the, or LTPS panel I think it might be, on the Z3 Plus really does look sensational. What you can also expect is great viewing angles across both of these devices, so they should make for perfect reading tools, great for multimedia, etc. The user interfaces are Android 5.0.2, and you've got a variable number of home screens. You've got applications trays, and you can customize your applications tray into folders and of course shortcuts as well. In addition to that, Sony's allows you some key organizational features which you don't get in the Samsung's TouchWiz, and that's because Samsung has stripped TouchWiz right back for this iteration. Pull down bars from the top, very stock lollipop on the Xperia Z3 Plus, and on the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge it's a much more simple experience in certain regards because it's not two-tiered or expandable, but it is far removed from stock. You can edit the quick toggles above, but you cannot expand them. If I swipe that up, there's one thing I haven't spoken about. You can obviously swap out themes on both, but in addition to having all the things that we've seen before like themes, you can change your home screen settings to support auto rotation on the Z3 Plus. So that's one thing that's new in the user interface that we really wouldn't have minded seeing on the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. If I was to take a look at the cameras, optical image stabilization loaded on here makes it a mean performer. Is it the best camera in the world? Well, not really. The LG G4 is better in certain situations, this is better in others, the iPhone's better in others, but it is definitely one of the best. Our favorite thing, or my favorite thing about the camera, is the fact I can double tap the home button and take a picture incredibly quickly. So that's probably the best thing about this. Of course, you do have that physical camera button, but even that doesn't feel like it's quite as easy to do as just double tapping the home button for some reason. As far as the shooting modes go, you can shoot 4K video on both of them. You've also got a whole load of software enhancements on here. You've got all the ones that we've seen before, like you can have things overlay on your picture, you can give people masks by pointing the camera at them, but ultimately at the heart of it, we're guessing it's the exact same sensor and image quality as found on the Z3. Hopefully we'll get it in soon and we can be more affirmative. The Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge also has a really cool Pro mode, so you can control various elements in a more manual style. Even if it isn't full manual, you can still control, if I jump into it, mode, Pro mode, you can control things like the ISO, the white balance, manual focus, but one thing that you cannot control is shutter speed, which is a real shame, so no light trails. Talking you around the internals, and it is a Snapdragon 810 processor powering everything along inside the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus with 3 GB of RAM. That's versus an Exynos processor, also paired with 3 GB of RAM. 2 octa-core processors, both 64-bit, both will have no trouble plowing through the user interfaces and any games you throw at them. Of course, the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge has a much harder task powering that Quad HD screen with all those extra pixels, but from experience, it does a very good job of doing so, with certain games playing better than on any other phone that I played before on it. Obviously, the Snapdragon 810 has been optimized heavily since the HTC One M9, which I also reviewed it on, and the LG G Flex 2, so it'll be interesting to see how it performs with Android 5.0.2 and on the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus. As far as the batteries go, 2600 milliamps versus 2900 milliamps, so the Z3 Plus should definitely wipe the floor with the S6 in terms of battery, but it doesn't have the wireless charging that the S6 Edge does, and it probably won't charge quite as quickly. 10 minutes of charge on this thing will get you around 40% battery, which isn't too shabby at all. It's much slower after that, but 40% will definitely be the difference between making it through to the end of the day or not. What you end up with are two very premium feeling devices. The S6 Edge's key advantages of that design, it looks really unique. It's a very good phone at the heart. We already know that because we've reviewed it. In addition to that, the camera is great. What you don't have is waterproofing, and you don't have stereo front-facing speakers, so they are areas that the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus will definitely win out. Also, you've got 32 GB of memory on the Z3 Plus and expandability, whereas you have 64 or 128 GB memory on the Edge with no expandability. So, well, some people will prefer...